Hello again, everybody, and thank you for joining us once again for Cronkite Sports Live. I'm Ethan Tuttle, joined alongside Sammy Miller. Sammy, it's only been a week since we've been on the desk, but man, it seems like there's plenty more to talk about once again in Arizona State sports.
Yes, there is, Ethan. Spring is always a busy time in the sports world, but let's get right into it with some ASU baseball. After coming off a win against number 3 Oregon State, the Sun Devils hope to continue on with their momentum against their crosstown rivals, GCU. Jacob Wilson hits an RBI double to left field at the top of the first, but Ethan Long wanted a piece of the action with a no-doubt home run, cutting the deficit down 3-2. Now in the top of the fourth, Juan Collado hits a beautiful RBI single to left field with Homer Rush Jr. running into home for the Lopes. Bottom of the fifth, Joe Lampe hits an RBI double to the right field, and his teammate Ryan Campos continues to clear all of the bases. Will he make it all the way home? Yes, he does, and he is getting fired up with teammate Ethan Long. And now Jacob Wilson is finding more success with a 2-run homer, and he is looking at his dugout getting hyped up as well for his big night at Phoenix Muni. And now Ethan Long is back up to bat and hits it out of the park, but it would not be enough for the Sun Devils, and they would end up losing 7-5 against GCU. Now we head over to head coach Willie Bloomquist for his thoughts on the game.
To me, it's a lot of it's just a mindset, what you're going in with and attacking the strike zone. These guys are capable of doing it. They've done it before. So for me, it's something that you just got to have the mentality of attack the strike zone and not beat yourself. And again, it's something we continually talk about over and over. And from the offensive side of the ball, we continue to preach attacking fastballs, and we continue to take fastballs. So. Like I said, it starts with me. I'm the head coach, and I'm not doing a good enough job of coaching them, so I got to do better.
I'm now joined at the desk with ASU baseball reporter Tanner Tortorella. Tanner, the Sun Devils haven't had the start they really hoped for to the start of the season off. 9-13 for the baseball team. What have been the main contributing factors to this slow start?
So it's really a combination of their pitching and the situational hitting. The bullpen has been one of the worst in the Pac-12 in being last in walks, hits allowed, and runs allowed. They've just been giving up free bases and haven't been able to control the zone. And head coach Willie Bloomquist talked about how they need to be more mentally aware and be ready from the first pitch. And the situational hitting has also been a factor because they've gone innings, crucial innings like the 7th, 8th, and 9th, those game-winning innings without even a base run on board, and they haven't really factored in offensive flow and momentum, which in turn has made the bullpen put more pressure on them, who's already been struggling this year.
Yeah, absolutely. And what has been the main reaction so far from the team themselves? Coming off a slow start to the season? Well,
they're emotional. After the loss to GCU, you can tell from the red in the eyes, the voice was hoarse. These losses are starting to pile up for this team, and it's really a culmination of all of them. The loss to Dixie State at the beginning of the year, 19-3 loss to BYU, 21 to Oregon State. So these losses are starting to affect the mental game, and Bloomquist has talked about how they need to be more mentally strong and ready from the first pitch, as I said, for this season. But it's been really hard on them.
Yeah, and coming into this series against Washington, the first home opener for the conference series, that is, against Washington here at Phoenix Muni. So for the Sun Devils, what do they have to do to get off to a good start in Pac-12 play?
Well, they have the talent. The starters have been really good this year with Kyle Luckham, Adam Tulloch, and Tyler Mayer. So those guys will be good for them. It's really about the bullpen. They need guys to step up, and it's easier said than done. But, they need Will Levine, they need Osman, they need Boldovich. They need those guys to step up late in games to secure those wins. And the offense will be fine. They have enough talent with Ethan Long, Connor Davis, all those guys, Joe Lampe. So they have enough talent in the offensive that it will smooth out, but the bullpen is the main issue that they need to fix heading into conference play.
Thank you so much, Tanner, for all the breakdown on Sun Devil baseball. Here's Riley Swenson with a little bit of information on softball.
This play has begun in the Pac-12, which means some of the nation's top teams will square off with each other every weekend from now until the middle of May. The conference has sent multiple teams to each of the last 4 Women's College World Series and looks in prime position to do so again this year. There are currently 5 Pac-12 teams in the D1Softball.com top 25 rankings: UCLA, Oregon, Washington, Arizona State, and Arizona, with Oregon State just dropping out of the rankings this week. When the Sun Devils travel south to take on the Wildcats this weekend, it will be a matchup of 2 of the top hitting teams in the country, as they rank 13th and 7th in batting average respectively, and both have multiple players that rank inside the top 40 in that same statistic. There is stat after stat that proves the dominance of this conference, and it is sure to be an exciting spring on the West Coast. Now to Anthony Remedios for more on ASU's recent success.
Arizona State softball's 11-game win streak will head to Tucson this weekend as the Sun Devils begin a 3-game series against the Arizona Wildcats later this evening. Highlights of the streak, dating back to March 6th, include the Sun Devils' revenge against a team that ended their season last year, a 5-inning run rule win against BYU, and an extra inning walk-off to sweep Oregon State in the first week of conference play last Sunday. In that 11-game stretch, they have outscored their opponents 78-15. And of Arizona State's 22 wins, 11 of those have ended early by a run rule. Pitching has been vital for ASU, with Marissa Scholl and Mac Morgan having respective .98 and 1.52 ERAs during the streak. Scholl leads the rotation with 30 strikeouts, while Morgan leads the team with 26 and a third innings pitched. Offensively, Yanni Acuna leads the team during the stretch with 7 home runs and ties Jasmine Hill with 13 RBIs. Jasmine Rollin is second in both categories with 5 home runs and 11 RBIs. Here's what Trisha Ford had to say about why the offense is hot.
We have a lot of different threats in our lineup, and I think that we've just done a good job of staying pretty calm and relaxed. I feel like we're starting to feel our rhythm, and I just think that they're just stringing good at bats together, which for us, and then we get a big hit here and there, and all of a sudden you put up some crooked numbers.
Taking a look at the upcoming schedule for Arizona State softball, they're going to head on the road to take on the Arizona Wildcats, ranked 14th in the country right now. 11 wins by run rule for Arizona State softball so far, so they're going to look to continue that against the Wildcats and take that on the road to Eugene up in the Pacific Northwest against Oregon. And then also they're going to have to watch out for the Utes here at home at Farrington, and then they're going to go on the road to Palo Alto to take on Stanford.
As we get closer to the Maroon and Gold football scrimmage on April 9th, we now bring in our football reporter, Michael Donahue. Michael, with the departures of Rashad White and Diamante Traynham, what does ASU's running back situation look like?
Devils are using a blend of current and fresh faces in the running back room this year. They still have Daniel Ncaa and George Hart III, but they've added Xavier Valladay, a Wyoming transfer, and 4-star recruit Tevin White. Coach Sean Aguano hasn't given an inclination of who might start in the fall, so this is shaping up to be another intense positional battle.
Like you said, they are definitely going to miss White and Traynham, but looking forward, what can we expect from Xavier Valladay and Daniel Ncaa for this season?
Coach Aguano said he wanted to add some more maturity into the running back room in the offseason, and that's exactly what Valladay brings. 4-year player at Wyoming, including 2 1,000-yard rushing seasons. So Coach Aguano feels a little more comfortable knowing he has a player that carried the load for an offense in the past. And on the other side, Daniel Ncaa wants to be that do-it-all back for ASU like Rashad White was last season. He emphasized how he can run downhill, catch passes out of the backfield, and he even mentioned he could run out of the slot this year.
Right now, those two are the standouts in the running back room, but is there a chance the other running backs on the roster could see some action this year as well?
Through the first couple of practices in the spring, it certainly seems like White, Hart, and Deontay Elliott will be fighting for that third running back spot, which isn't necessarily a bad thing considering how much ASU likes to run the ball. Ncaa saw plenty of action at that third spot last year, so any one of these guys could see the field this year. It might just be tough to crack one of those first running back spots.
Thank you, Michael, for your great insight. And not only will the running backs be an important position group to watch out for, but there are a lot more battles for spots taking place on the roster, so it'll be interesting to see how pieces start getting put together in the next few weeks. And staying right with spring football, the Sun Devils got a special visitor, former Sun Devil running back Eno Benjamin.
Yeah, Eno Benjamin stopping by that Wednesday spring football practice as we roll some highlights of the former Sun Devil, now Arizona Cardinal on your screen. You see him just taking down this number 15 ranked Cal Bear defense. That's a running back that the Sun Devils now, Sammy, are really looking for. So we're going to have to see over the next few weeks in spring football practice who that guy is who starts to stand out as a leader. But like I said, just Eno Benjamin being there, 31 touchdowns, 2,800 career rushing yards at Arizona State, had such a terrific career as a Sun Devil. So a lot of stuff that guys out there on that spring football field can look up to and try to emulate as well.
You love to see a player like that coming out. He was drafted by the Cardinals, so he's still here in Arizona. But I hope it's a way to show for the Sun Devils that are on the roster right now, hey, I can do that if I'm putting in the work and effort right there, right here, right now.
Yeah, and he's not the only leader in ASU sports, though. Arizona State Wrestling just capped off its season by finishing 4th overall at Ncaa championships this past week. WCSN reporter Jonah Krell got the chance to sit down with freshman wrestler Jesse Vasquez to figure out what a slick savage is.
Welcome everyone to another edition of Sun Devils Sit Down. Today, I am joined by freshman wrestler Jesse Vasquez. Jesse, thank you so much for taking the time with us today.
Thank you for having me.
So to start, let's go through all the accolades, all right? So 4-time state wrestling champ in high school. You came out of high school as the number 2 ranked wrestler at 145 pounds. And then this season, you ranked as high as number 16 in the country by Flow Wrestling, on your way to a 7-1 record before a season-ending injury, of course. But the thing that made me want to interview you was off the mat with your YouTube channel and how you're growing your brand beyond wrestling. So before we get into that, though, my first question to you is, what is or who is a slick savage?
What's up, Slick Savages? What's up, Slick Savages? Yeah. What's up, Slick Savages? A slick savage is anyone that watches my channel. Any little kid that's smooth and likes to be good at wrestling. The whole purpose of wrestling is to be slick and smooth, that's the name of the game. And I just like to call my supporters, my followers, Slick Savages, because I'm a savage and I'm cool with it.
So going into your YouTube channel, you have 1.77 thousand subscribers on YouTube, 15 vlogs, a lot of highlight clips, some interviews. It's all so fun. It's a fun channel, and it's really impressive to see how large of an audience you have. So I want to know what got into, what made you want to start this YouTube channel, and how have you seen it grow from there?
I think my passion for film and music and film is what made me want to pursue my vlogs. And then another piece of me, when I was a little kid, I used to really look up to the college wrestlers. The collegiate level was the platform, the pedestal. So I think there was a lot of things that I didn't experience or get fed as a youth wrestler through media and content that I feel like could have been delivered, at the time. So I feel like I can provide that now that I'm in a position. I'm a D1 college athlete. People want to see what a D1 college athlete is doing, and I feel like I can highlight that through my lens and my life.
When you were hurt, did you ever think, maybe I should take this on, this videography, this YouTube channel full time? Maybe I should go this path instead, or has it always been wrestling?
It's always been wrestling, man. I think I've been so immersed in wrestling. It's a piece of my identity. I identify as a wrestler, but I just don't want to be identified as a wrestler. Like I want to be I want to be looked at as someone that can do anything he puts his mind to. I mean, what other wrestler have you seen become an Olympic champ and then become a famous YouTuber?
I haven't seen. That's why I wanted to hear your story.
That's why I want to do things that no one else has done, right? No one else has documented their whole life. Well, I know I'm gonna be a star. And that's something that I've known since as young as I can remember. I know I was special. So many people, before I started this vlog, and I'll even put it to you like this. I want to say some names, but there's people here in this program that tried to diminish what I was doing. Now they're full-fledged supporting it because I've made a name for myself. I've proved that my content quality is there, right? But before anyone ever saw a piece of my work, they wanted to shut it down right away. And you see what I'm saying? Like I think I chased that feeling of proving people wrong. Oh no, people said, "Oh, you can be a 4-time state champ." My own father told me, my own father told me I could not be a 4-time state champ. Coming into my freshman year of high school, I said, we'll see. You can sit on the sideline. I'm going to show you what's up. And you can see this, Dad. You'll remember. I swear to God.
Wrestler. Thanks, Jonah. So cool to see Jesse Vasquez getting creative off the mat with the camera, just having some fun. To check out more, head over to Cronkite Sports on Twitter and YouTube to catch the full interview.
ASU men's tennis is currently 4-10 on the season and began conference play last week against the USC Trojans, falling 4-3. An interesting thing to note about this squad, though, is their foreign flair, with 5 Sun Devils coming from outside of the country. One player in particular, George Stoop, hasn't been able to visit his home in New Zealand due to COVID. Our Ethan Ryder has more on the challenges Stoop has had to face.
Life as a college athlete from a foreign country is undoubtedly tough in normal circumstances. But for Arizona State junior tennis player George Stoop, coronavirus has made it even harder. Due to restrictions, he hasn't been able to return to his home country of New Zealand.
He's been away from home for over 1 year now. We all got to go back for Christmas at least, back home, but he had to stay here. So I think he misses it a little.
With many tough situations in life, the only way to deal with them is to find a way to cope. Stoop was able to lean on his friends to do so.
1, 2, 3, He's close with the team and he kind of pours into that, and he had some other players that play college tennis from New Zealand that were also kind of stuck, if you will, in the United States, and they all came to Arizona and spent Christmas together and all that, so that was really neat to see.
Stoop is very thankful for being able to stay with those friends and at the least get a splash of his hometown and make the situation a little easier. While he's not able to see them in person, Stoop is also still in continuous contact with family back in New Zealand.
I'm calling my parents quite regularly and speak to them over text, and my family and a lot of friends back in New Zealand as well. So yeah, it's looking at photos and stuff. So yeah, it's been good.
Taking his struggles to return home out of the picture, the transition to a new country and college athletics is tough in and of itself. Through the difficulty, Stoop has created a bond with his fellow foreign teammates, in particular, sophomore Maurice Hoffman and junior Christian Lerby.
The beginning it was a little rough. Me, Mo, and George were pretty close, so it just helps. You don't think about your family or that much, or it's just you have a great time together. Then it's good, wherever you are.
Everyone on the team has had their struggles, whether on the court or off. But no matter what the problem may be, they always have one thing to fall back on.
A lot of Europeans, Americans, but we kind of all have the same goals, and we grew up doing the same stuff, playing tennis, and so we have a lot in common. So I think that's probably the easiest thing. Pretty much we all love sport, we all love tennis. We're doing a lot of the same things off the court, and it's very easy to get along with the guys.
With his love of tennis, Stoop has been a strong player throughout his time as a Sun Devil, and won't look to stop anytime soon, as he and his team have goals of a deep run in the NCAA tournament. From Tempe, Ethan Ryder, Cronkite Sports.
Stoop and the rest of the squad will look to continue to chase after those goals when they take on their rivals, the Arizona Wildcats, on Saturday.
A dominant start to 2022 with tournament wins and solid scorecards scattered across the roster. ASU men's golf has hit a bit of a speed bump at the end of its schedule. Here's Connor Bonfilio with an update and more on Sun Devil Golf.
Thanks, Ethan. The Arizona State men's golf team has been punching below their weight in recent tournaments. Last week, the Sun Devils traveled to Mexico for the Cabo Collegiate at the Cabo del Sol Cove Club course. ASU shot 12 under, 840, and tied for 9th as freshman Preston Summerhays led the way with a 7 under, 206. While their rounds improved each time, the Sun Devils dug themselves too big a hole in the first round. This week, ASU traveled to Oregon for the Duck Invitational, hosted by Eugene Country Club. Conditions were brutal the first day, with howling winds and heavy rain affecting the first 2 round scores. ASU kept the pace after day 1, but couldn't make a move on day 2, shooting a 7 over 291 to finish tied for 3rd with Oregon State. Freshman Josele Ballester carded a 68 for the low round of the day. Washington ran away with the tournament, firing a 19 under par 833, 17 strokes ahead of second place Utah and 36 strokes ahead of ASU. The Sun Devils entered Cabo ranked first in the Golf Week rankings and entered Eugene ranked third by GolfStat. Head coach Matt Thurman was thrilled to be in the Pacific Northwest regardless of the result. The Sun Devils face conditions that will mirror those at the Pac-12 Championships in Seattle next month. While they are underperforming, they certainly have all the tools to dominate. They will look to throw 3 solid rounds together this week at the Valspar Invitational, hosted by the Floridian in Palm City. Ethan?
Thanks, Connor. Just a few more tournaments left before ASU golf hits the Ncaa regionals in mid-May. Man, 90 degrees in Tempe this week, Sammy. How do all these outdoor athletes keep cool?
I don't know, Ethan. It's a tall task to ask for, but these athletes are putting in the work, just like ASU Beach Volleyball, who faced off against number 7 GCU and number 8 Stanford at their brand new facility. But they were unable to get a win against either opponent. The Lopes and Cardinals' offensive efficiency, coupled with their discipline on defense, was too much for the Sun Devils to handle. Let's roll the highlights to see how yesterday played out. Right here, just like how you said, Ethan, it was a hot one out here on the sand. Cardinal are trying to get it down, but Fitzgerald puts the ball away. Huge swing for the Sun Devils. We see the Cardinal once again going up with Doucette putting the ball away. And another one, a cross-court kill, dropping on the sand. Maya Harvey going for the line shot. Waters is there for the dig. And going high off the hands of Stanford, getting the point. And on this final point, we are going to see Emmy Sharp with the monster block saying goodnight to the Sun Devils 5-0. And the Sun Devils will need to shift their focus now to this weekend when they compete in the Pac-12 South Invitational in Tucson against Cal, USC, Arizona, and Stanford once again.
When thinking about consistency across Arizona State athletics, there's one team that stands out amongst the rest. ASU track and field continue to gather wins and continue to be consistent. ASU throwers coach Brian Blutrick has amassed 12 Division I national championships over 6 years with the Sun Devils. With 25 national championships total, he continues to pile on the success. Reporter Henry Dominy has more on the dynamic duo between player and coach.
With 2 shot put title wins at the NCAA Indoor Championships recently, ASU head throws coach Brian Blutrick won his 25th NCAA title as a coach.
To win a single national championship is amazing. It's so hard to do. You got kids from all over the world who compete at the NCAA level.
Helping their coach to get his 25th title also meant a lot to his athletes.
You know, it's one of those things where we knew we could get it done. We knew what position we were all going into this championship, and to actually get it done, it shows the power of the training system we have down here and just the mindset of everyone that we train with.
This astonishing number of titles has taken him a while, but in his 6 years of coaching at ASU, Coach Brian Blutrick has won 12 throwing titles.
Yeah, I'm just trying to continue the tradition here set by Coach Dumble, who's before me. And, we've got a great group of kids, and, I just try to help them as far as I can go. They're the ones that have to compete, they're the ones that have to figure it out, they're the ones that have to do it. So I'm just very proud of everyone that's come through here in the last 6 years and what they've done for the program.
It is also safe to say that Coach was very happy with his athletes' performance at the recent championships.
For our kids to do their best, the best of the year, both of them had their best throws of the year at the national championships. That's what we planned for. They executed great. How can you not be happy? That's the epitome of our sport, is to win a national championship. To sweep both the men's and the women's shot is incredible.
However, Coach Blutrick did keep his predictions for the outdoor season a secret.
We don't know yet. There's a lot of good people. I won't say anything about outdoors.
For Cronkite Sports, I'm Henry Dominy.
Thanks, Henry. Always great work with the track team. ASU Track and Field will make the trip west to Palo Alto for the Sun Devil Invite on April 1st.
As ASU women's lacrosse hits the midway point of the regular season, our Caroline Kelly is here to update us on their offensive weapons who've been leading the way for the Sun Devils so far.
Thank you, Sammy. With a rough start to their season, Arizona State lacrosse is now 4-5 after an offensive battle this past weekend. The team showed some major determination in a 21-18 comeback win over Cal Berkeley. At halftime, Arizona State was down 3 goals, but the third quarter showed just how lethal the ASU offense can be, as they came back with a 10-2 advantage led by none other than senior Emily Gloglev. She continues to bring her elite play to the Sun Devils, breaking the assist record with 7 assists this past weekend. Gloglev held the previous record with 6 in a single game. The attacker came up with 3 goals against the Golden Bears, bringing her point total to 10 for just that game. Those 10 points allowed her to break yet another record, being the first to have 100 career goals and 100 career assists in Sun Devil history. With the win over Cal, Arizona State is now 1-1 in Pac-12 play. Gloglev and the Sun Devils' toughest matchup is just underway as they face off against number 17 USC in Los Angeles. Currently, ASU is down 4-5.
Time of the show. Top plays is Arizona State taking on Oregon State in a little bit of softball. It's third baseman Bella Loomis with the walk-off 3-run shot as she goes in to celebrate with her team, her first home run of the season.
And now our Tyler Bender with top play number 3.
Trying to move in, uses the pillar to cut people off, goes forward now, but Suter, you still need to find the engage. He finds it on the Kim down.
Beautiful
a big
calling.
pulling over the top. Bierk is almost dead. Cinnamon almost dies to the W. Juke Downster goes forward with the gale force. He finds one. Zeshu in the back line finds another. ASU find the team fight around the Baron. A double kill for Zeshu, and now they look for Dewan Pro as they might try to push for the win.
ASU will go on to beat UCI 3-2 in a 5-game series to repeat as West Conference champions and secure the #1 seed out of the West Conference going into nationals in April.
Some skill on the sticks, but let's go ahead and take a look at some grit on the mat here as Colton Schultz gets thrown on his back. He's able to recover though as he works his way around the opponent, throws him on his back and eventually gets him on his chest. And we've seen this before from Schultz as he brings on all the applause.
And now we head to the pool, the NCAA Swimming Championships, where Sun Devil Leon Marchand won the 200-meter individual medley. And not only that, he set the fastest time in NCAA history. You saw him put up the forks up. Congratulations to Marchand.
Man, a fastest time in the water, an NCAA record. This felt like an NCAA record for how fast we just ran through this show. Plenty of content, but it always moves so fast, Sammy. For Sammy Miller, for myself, and all the tremendous crew we have working around us, thank you so much. We'll catch you back here on CSL next time.